Nar becomes a Venom, crossing the world of pirates. Awakening the infinite evolutionary system. And encountered the perfect host. Duo Flamenco. Do you want to stand at the center of the world again, Domingo? After seeing the power of the Venom, Duo Flamenco's smile gradually went crazy. 21640 I want to give the world a huge surprise. Successfully parasitized Domingo. The combination of evil and ultimate evil. With evolution, Nar unlocks more abilities. Gene replication. Child creation. Immortal transformation. When the army of symbiotes invaded the world, everyone panicked. Kato. I can't beat it. I can't beat it at all. Red Dog. It can't be killed. It's impossible to kill at all. 5 old stars. What kind of monster is this? Luffy. Nani. So he is the immortal god. Would you like to consider switching to a new parasitic object? Nar, Venom. All living beings are ants, but I am eternal and immortal. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 2. Parasitic Domingo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Symbiotes have super strong learning abilities. Nar has parasitized multiple humans and has long mastered language. The sudden sound stunned Duo Flamenco's body. He immediately broke free from the immersive sadness. A smile on his face that was desolate and unwilling to be transformed into a slightly crazy one. However, a hint of doubt appeared in Duo Flamenco's heart. Who can silently appear here? He looked up according to the voice. At a glance, one could see the grim face hanging on the roof, composed of black mucus. Duo Flamenco's gaze narrowed sharply and he instinctively said. Who are you? This is the 6th floor of the propulsion city. Who can appear here without restraint? But after thoroughly observing Nar's condition, Duo Flamenco was puzzled again and said. Devil Fruit ability. His first reaction was to treat Nar's Venom form as a demonic fruit ability. After all. Besides the Devil Fruit ability. What else can make a person change their state? Let me introduce myself. First of all, you can call me Venom. Secondly, this is not the Devil Fruit ability, but my ability. Nar's deep voice came out, neither urgent nor slow. Duo Flamenco's face showed a hint of confusion. Is it not a demon fruit ability? It's all in a liquid state, how could it not be a demon fruit ability? Duo Flamenco shook his head and grinned grimly, saying. Venom. Magellan, don't play useless tricks with me. Domingo actually treated the Venom as Magellan's Venom. The dark mucus. Besides its color, it's just like Magellan's demonic abilities. Hee, I'm not Magellan's Venom. Nar couldn't help but chuckle lightly. Immediately, his whole body surged and he rushed towards Duo Flamenco. Nal saw the attitude of Duo Flamenco. He knows that talking too much is a waste of words. It's better to parasitize directly. Let Minga feel the power of being parasitized by himself. A dark and evil aura rushed towards us. The expression on Duo Flamenco's face rapidly changed. Fierce, crazy. And a hint of unwillingness. Magellan, killing me so painstakingly is really difficult for you. Domingo still firmly believed in his speculation. This black mucus. It is the form of Magellan's poisonous fruit. He is well aware of the terrifying toxicity of Magellan's poisonous fruit. Seeing Nar's actions, he seemed to see the end of his own destiny. Duo Flamenco is extremely unwilling in his heart. But unfortunately, it was restricted by the sea tower stones. He has no resistance at all. I can only watch helplessly as the black mucus completely envelopes me. Next second. Domenico felt a strong tingling sensation emanating from his entire body. He closed his eyes in despair. For a long time. Domingo opened his eyes in surprise. His anticipated death did not come. Domingo hurriedly searched for the trace of the black mucus just now. Looking at one's own body, looking around, there is nothing to be gained. It seems like I was just experiencing a dream just now. Looking for me. Just when Domingo was in a daze. A familiar hoarse voice rang in his ear. Immediately after, black sticky tentacles extended from Flamenco's shoulders. A ferocious face formed before his eyes. The position of the eyes is marked with 2 white marks. Although there are no eyeballs. But Domingo could feel that the other person was staring at him. What kind of monster are you? Domingo's expression changed greatly, and a shock struck his heart. Is the other person inside their own body? Why didn't I notice it at all? This is not the power of Magellan's poisonous fruit. What kind of monster is this? This is the first time that Franco has witnessed such an outrageous thing. Nal ignored his question and only asked in a low voice. Do you agree with this ending, Domingo? Are you willing to spend your life in this dark city of advancement? Do you want to be labeled as a loser? Don't you want to go back to the sea again? The deep voice of demons babbling. With a deep allure. It seems to magnify human desires and unwillingness infinitely. At this moment, Dominic finally realized something. He looked slightly stunned, then even more shocked, his voice trembling slightly. What do you mean? I don't know why. After hearing this sound, the idea of revenge is becoming increasingly strong. Do you also realize that the other party wants to help you escape the advancing city? Not only can I help you leave, I can also give you stronger strength. Nar's voice was like a magical sound swirling in the ears of Duo Flamenco. Next up, Domingo saw a scene that shocked him immensely. The black sticky tentacles covered the Feilu handcuffs. Click. The handcuffs slowly fell off. Ka la la la. The sound of handcuffs and chains colliding with the ground is particularly clear. The Feilu handcuffs were unexpectedly opened. Domingo's expression shook greatly, his pupils contracting fiercely. He is even more certain that Nar has nothing to do with Devil Fruit's abilities. As is well known, Feilu is the nemesis of Demon Fruit abilities. Domenico lost consciousness for a moment. Although his feet are still locked. But the liberation of his hands made him realize that Nal was an extraordinary existence. Doflamingo looked at his hands entwined with black mucus. Although it is very similar to the dominance of armed colors. But it feels completely different. He seemed to feel the power flowing back into his body. Even if both feet are still bound by the sea tower stones. But it's not that extreme sense of weakness anymore. Has the effect of Feilu weakened? No. It's me who has become stronger. What have you done to me on Earth? Domenico finally reacted. He's not a fool, he instantly realized the key to the problem. It's this guy who claims to be venomous. He made himself stronger. At the same time as being shocked in Duo Flamenco's heart, there was an inexplicable excitement. He saw hope of leaving the advancing city. The most crucial thing is, Domingo is more eager to understand the reasons for his strength. The effect of Feilu can be offset as long as it is strong enough. Just like Luffy and Kid. When they were imprisoned in Gioli prison, even if they were bound by the sea tower stones, resisting the stones was as simple as drinking water. So the same goes for the situation with Domingo. Nar's voice rang in Duo Flamenco's mind. It's simple, my ability is to make you stronger. So, your answer. A demonic voice full of temptation. Who can resist the power to make themselves stronger? Moreover, it is still the desperate Doflamingo. As long as you can help me get out, I can do anything. Duo Flamenco had a fierce smile. The deep voice is filled with unprecedented madness. He is not interested in figuring out what the venom is now. As long as you can make yourself stronger. As long as I can make myself leave. As long as one can seek revenge. No matter what the conditions are, Doflamingo will not hesitate. He, a very satisfactory answer. The laughter of devil's chatter lingered in the ears of Duo Flamenco. Nar is indeed very satisfied with the host of Doflamingo. The two tentacles split again. It was easy to open the stone shackles of the sea tower on Doflamingo's feet. Just like unlocking the last seal on a demon's body. Ka-la-la accompanied by the crisp sound of the sea tower stone chains falling to the ground. Do Flamenco completely free himself from the constraints of the sea tower stones. The surging power returned to him once again. Parasitic success, gains 30 evolution points. Successful gene replication. Acquiring new abilities. Armed color dominance, seeing and hearing color dominance, domineering color dominance, and thread fruit ability. Nar couldn't help but feel happy when he heard the prompt sound from the system. It is truly a perfect match. The speed of parasitism is unprecedented. And Nal has finally gained the ability from the local pirate world. Tri-color domineering. And the ability of thread fruit. Even directly obtaining 30 evolution points. It's much better than parasitizing those little karami. The subsequent increase caused by parasitism is directly fed back to Doflamingo. Triple increase. The three-color dominance suddenly increased. Infinite power surges out of Duo Flamenco's body. Bring him an unprecedented strength. Black mucus seeped out of Doflamenco's pores, slowly enveloping his body and finally covering his head. Become a true monster with only half of your cheeks exposed. Half is Venom, half is Domingo. The smiles of the two were even more crazy and identical. They all spoke in unison. Next. It's time for the world to feel scared. The words fell. Her face was completely engulfed in black mucus, sinking into venom. A violent and evil aura erupted with a loud bang. After thinking for a long time about the level of strength after the parasitic increase, I didn't think of any measurement standard. So I decided to use a bounty to represent it. For example, Minga has a bounty of 340 million yuan, and after a triple increase, his strength will reach the level of a 1 billion bounty character. This is just a measurement of data, it doesn't have much significance, it's just for the sake of clarity, it can be ignored. And under the influence of factors such as venom parasitism and bullying, the true combat power will definitely surpass that of similarly rewarded characters. Also, new book seeking data support. Request all data such as flowers, evaluation tickets, and monthly tickets Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Eightfold increase. Damn it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Devouring upgrade successful. Devouring, LV2+, devouring life can directly convert life energy into evolution points. The stronger the life energy, the more evolution points it can transform into. The current conversion efficiency is 50%. Next level. 70%. Note. To upgrade again, please evolve to a growth body. The upgrade of devouring ability has been completed. Evolution point plus 10.7, evolution point plus 9.3, evolution point plus 7. The speed of accumulating evolutionary points has suddenly accelerated. But unfortunately, there are very few prisoners left on the entire 6th floor. Almost completely slaughtered by Nar and Doflamingo. Nar watched as he struggled to accumulate to 100 evolution points again. Without hesitation, choose to upgrade your parasitic ability. Parasitic upgrade successful. Parasitic, LV2+, parasitic host, can enhance the host's strength by 8 times in all aspects. Successful parasitism will earn evolution points. Note: if you upgrade again, please evolve to a growth body. Parasitic upgrade successful. From increasing your strength by 3 times to 8 times. Nar himself has also undergone tremendous changes. As a Venom, the original basic attributes have achieved significant breakthroughs. Power, speed, healing and other abilities are becoming increasingly terrifying. But at this moment, Duo Flamenco was confused. At first, he took over his body. The most intuitive feeling is the amplification of the aura of seeing and hearing, which is extremely clear about everything around us. Every black thread is an eye. Even his physical fitness and armed aura have reached a level beyond his reach. Even the domineering colors seem to have undergone some changes. He couldn't help but become more curious about Nar's identity. Originally, this was enough to shock Doflamenco. But now, 8-fold increase. The powerful force that rushed into his body in an instant made Duo Flamenco want to vent his anger. Seeing and hearing the domineering colors. Armed and domineering. Overlord and domineering. Including the power of thread and fruit. All produce a qualitative leap. It's like going from a chopstick to a chopstick. He felt the power of a punch, weighing at least a few tons. This is also a change after the evolution of Venom. The increase in strength is only one aspect. The most crucial aspect of evolution is to break through the Venom itself and bring about implicit improvements. Duo Flamenco felt the surging power inside his body and couldn't help but be shocked, saying, "What's going on? Venom, what did you do again? What exactly does Venom exist? How could I make myself stronger so much?" He feels it. If I were to fight the Straw Hat Boy again with my current self. Even if we don't use the awakening power. You can easily win. The enhancement brought by Venom can only be described by terror. Domingo is even more stunning. Don't be surprised. Domingo, I will make you stronger and stronger. Nar's voice rang out in Doflamenco's mind. The voice was unusually calm. Full of powerful confidence that dominates everything. Your power. It's incredible. Duo Flamenco exclaimed with a shocked expression on his face. More shocking than being defeated by Luffy. The thoughts in Duo Francisco's heart were even crazier. If there is Venom to help. What Navy generals, what 4 emperors, what 5 old stars. I am the strongest. After the strength of Domingo skyrocketed again. The prisoners who are still struggling to support themselves have no strength to fight back and have all turned into Venom as nourishment. The entire 6th floor prison. Only Domingo and Venom remain. The piercing sound of alarms echoed around. The surveillance phone worm has transmitted what happened on the 6th floor to the control room. Prison Warden Magellan is gathering troops to prepare for the suppression of the 6th level riot. At the same time, report the news to the Navy headquarters as soon as possible. The naval fleet outside the Gate of Justice has also entered the City of Advancement. But all of this. Domingo doesn't care at all. He was immersed in the power that Venom brought to him. Confidence is unprecedentedly strong. And NAL, the more people I can't wait for, the better. Slaughtering the 6th layer brings him benefits of less than 400 evolution points. If it were 2 years ago, the evolutionary point would have reached thousands. This is NAR's only regret. Venom, how could these dead guys become like this? Isn't this the power of the fruit of the thread? Doflamenco asked with a surprised expression on his face. He sensed something strange about the deceased prisoners and couldn't help but feel strange. This is my ability. You can understand it as, they are all my food. Only by eating them can I grow. And you, my friend, will also be stronger. Nal said calmly. He did not conceal anything. Only by letting Domingo know can he help himself consume more energy. Eating people. Domingo was greatly shocked in his heart. A chill couldn't help but emanate from the back. He actually felt a hint of fear. No, 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 I'm just devouring energy, there's no such thing as cannibalism. It's the same with other animals, as long as they have energy, they can do it, Nar explained. The animals he mentioned are not ordinary animals. Besides, human beings are also animals. Venom, you're too scary. Domingo's expression was extremely solemn. He found that the venom seemed to be an extremely evil thing. Fear emerged in his heart. Fear of being consumed by venom. Nar realized Doflamingo's fear and couldn't help but burst into laughter. Ha ha ha. I didn't expect Duo Flamenco to be so timid. To be honest with you, we are now integrated. To put it more bluntly, you are my host, we are bound together in life and death. You have nothing to be afraid of. Nar treated each other with honesty. Are you telling the truth? Said Domingo, still half believing he is very confused. I don't know if I should trust the venom. I yearn for the power of venom in my heart. Very conflicted. Very contradictory. Do you think I'm lying to you? Do you think that if I show my abilities, Kato will refuse? What about a naval general? What about the 5 old star dragon man? Compared to them, what are you worth deceiving me about? Or do you think you're better than them all? Nar sneered and said. Seemingly disdainful, but in reality, it is the crazy Flamenco. After careful consideration of what Nar had said, Domingo suddenly realized that it was indeed the case. He really doesn't have any advantage compared to Kaito Nanti. Venom has no reason to deceive itself. Seeing Doflamingo waver. Nal spoke again. I chose you because I had a good view of you, otherwise I would have gone to great lengths to advance the city and save you. Since the cooperation is not very pleasant, let's all go our separate ways. Speaking. The black mucus on the surface of Domingo's body contracts. Then they all disappeared and hid inside the body of Doflamingo. Nal disagreed with a word and immediately withdrew all his strength. In the moment of strength retreating, Domingo's body has become smaller. There is a huge gap in my heart. Having the same strength as before. He feels increasingly weak now. That powerful feeling. It's what everyone dreams of. And this huge gap. Just like an eagle soaring from the sky, overlooking the grassland. The next second it turns into cattle, sheep, and beasts, becoming a low-end predator. This is the gap he cannot accept. Venom parasitizes, invisibly spreading the madness within Duo Flamenco's heart. Make him even more unable to escape the power of the venom. Doflamingo immediately changed his stance, apologized to Venom, and promised to seek more energy for Venom. Don't worry, as long as I consume more energy, I can make you stronger. Nal is quite satisfied with the attitude of Duo Flamenco and expresses forgiveness for this. Nal chose to go to Domingo. Not only because I descended into the city of advancement. Mainly to take advantage of the current decline of Duo Flamenco and give it more evolutionary points. Also. Even if it's Nar parasitizing Kato. Kaito's strength, not to mention an 8-fold increase, even a 3-fold increase, is almost invincible. At that time, he would still help Nal obtain the evolutionary point. Nar parasitism also exists separately from the host. The host controls their own body. Nar controls the power of the venom. Only when both parties reach a consensus can we cooperate with each other. To put it simply, the Nar parasite is not yet strong enough to control the host's consciousness. So he needs time. More need for a large number of evolution points. Evolution. Evolution. Continuously evolving. Until. Become an independent existence. Become the supreme God. New book seeking data. Flowers. Evaluation ticket. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Evolving into Juveniles. New abilities. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Boom. A loud roar suddenly erupted on the 6th floor. The curved prison door shot out without warning and was embedded in the opposite wall. Next up. A burly figure, completely pitch black and shrouded in a terrifying aura, emerged from the prison cell without restraint. Exuding a terrifying evil aura all over. Like a demon from hell. Descend to the world at this moment. Next second. Nar takes over control of his body. There is black thread slowly wriggling in his palm. That's the fusion of the fruit ability and venom ability of the thread. The thread fruit is even more unpredictable than spider silk. A sudden movement. Immediately attract the attention of other prisoners. Who is that monster-like guy? What a terrifying aura. Wait. Isn't that cell just the one that was detained, Domingo? Do you know what's going on with this dark monster? That's not right. Duo Flamenco is a capable person, so he must use the sea tower stone handcuffs. If he were Duo Flamenco, how could he break free from the sea tower stone? The prisoners in the surrounding cells couldn't help but feel a little confused when they saw this scene. They can't imagine it at all. What is the connection between this dark monster and Da Flamenco? Besides, if it were indeed Duo Flamenco, how could he break free from the shackles of the sea tower stones? A prisoner who is not afraid of death shouted at the Venom. Hey! That guy, are you really Domingo? Whoever he is, as long as you can let me go, I'll give you 1 billion Bailey. Hee, I'll give you 2 billion Bailey. Hurry up and open my cell door. Criminals who can be imprisoned on the 6th level are all extremely vicious individuals. Their first thought when they saw someone trying to escape from prison was to release them as well. As for what 1 billion, 2 billion once you go out, who cares about what you said? I can only say. These speechless guys. I haven't seen the venom and the brutality of Domingo yet. A noisy sound came from around, causing Nal to disdain and sneer. A group of lowly ants. The pitch-black palm slowly lifted up. Countless threads of silk spread wildly from fingertips. Thread fruit ability activate. But the silk thread has undergone a qualitative change. The thread fruit was originally white or even transparent silk thread. Now combined with the ability of venom. Turn into a deep, dark black. It appears extremely eerie. Shoo, shoo. Next second. Countless dark threads swept through the 6th layer like a storm. Like a celestial maiden scattering flowers shooting around. It's like countless deadly snakes rushing towards all the prisoners in the 6th floor cell. For Nal. These guys are all delicious evolution points. How can he be willing to waste? Hiss, the black threads shot out accurately locate every target. It's like having eyes. The prisoners in the cell are all bound by sea tower stone chains. Even if it's not a demon fruit ability, battles are greatly discounted. The demon fruit ability is not to mention, without any combat power. Nar controls his body, combining the innate combat power and dominance of symbiotes, manipulating black threads to slaughter every prisoner. Ah! What is this strange black silk thread? Damn it! He's trying to kill all of us. Damn it! If you have the ability, let go of me. See if I don't break your head. What kind of ability is this? All the prisoners were suddenly in chaos. Wails of grief, screams of agony, curses of anger, screams of terror. In an instant, the 6th floor of the advancing city was flooded. No one expected that Nar would launch a massacre without saying a word. The 6th prison went through a big scene 2 years ago between Luffy and Blackbeard. Not only has the number of prisoners sharply decreased, Even the quality is not as good as before. In addition, being chained to lock hands and feet. Especially after the fusion of thread and fruit with mucus, it becomes even more unpredictable. The scene is completely one-sided. Evolution point plus 5.2 evolution point plus 4.6 evolution point plus 6.3 evolution point plus 4.9. A continuous sound of prompts came on. Devouring ability to autonomously activate. Transform the life energy of prisoners into evolutionary points with a 30% efficiency. Those prisoners who have been absorbed with life energy. From the appearance, there is no change at all. But if something touches, it will immediately turn into shattered flesh and blood. Rao is so. Overall, the life energy of these prisoners is very low, and after transformation, it becomes even lower. It would be great if it could completely engulf and transform. Nar murmured in his heart. I feel deeply sorry for my first big meal. Although he parasitizes Domingo, his consciousness is not interconnected, and the system's prompts can only be seen by him. Evolution point reaches 100, can evolve. After hunting and killing over 20 prisoners. The evolution point has reached 100. Seeing this scene, Nal handed over control of his body to Flamenco. He started spending his own evolution points. System, upgrade devouring ability. Nar felt the importance of efficiency in obtaining evolutionary points and said without hesitation. Upgrade failed. Please evolve to a juvenile and then upgrade your devouring ability. Are there any restrictions? Nar was slightly taken aback. It seems that we still need to evolve to the juvenile stage first. So there's nothing to say. Just do it. System, evolution. Buzzing. The evolution points on the panel usually melt and disappear. Immediately after, a mysterious energy quietly spread within the Venom. This evolution is similar to the first one. The energy diffuses and lasts for about half a minute before fading away. This also indicates the completion of Nar's evolution. Evolved into juveniles, title. Nar, form. Juvenile body, June 30th, 1000, survival time alone. 10 days. Ability, parasitic, LV1+, parasitic host, can enhance the host's strength by 3 times in all aspects. Successful parasitism will earn evolution points. Note. Upgradable, upgrade requires 100 evolution points. Devouring, LV1+, devouring life, can directly convert life energy into evolution points. The stronger the life energy, the more evolution points can be transformed, and the current conversion efficiency is 30%. Next level. 50%. Note. Upgradable, upgrade requires 100 evolution points. Gene replication, LV1+, by devouring, the gene sequence that devours life can be replicated. If a demon fruit ability is present, there is a 30% chance of replicating its demon fruit ability, with a 50% chance in the next stage. If the demon fruit is directly devoured, 100% of the demon fruit ability can be obtained. Note. Upgradable, upgrading requires 100 improvement points. Unlocking abilities. Offspring creation, growth, high temperature acoustic immunity, complete body, hallucination. Evolution point. 30.6, gene replication. Nar's eyes suddenly lit up. This ability is completely targeted at the devil fruit. Genetic sequences only differ for species. If placed in the world of One Piece, it can also be a racial difference. For example, giants, fishmans, long-handed, and so on. But Nal doesn't care about them either. He only values the ability to have a chance to replicate demon fruits. It seems that gene replication ability is not limited by the number of demon fruits. It seems that there is a chance to search for some demon fruits as well. Some demon fruit abilities can better unleash the power of Venom. The strongest force of Venom is the body. Compared to the world of pirates. However, there is a lack of energy attack methods similar to natural system abilities. But how did the devil fruit come about, naturally occurring? Or is it a product of technology? NAR couldn't help but be curious about the devil fruit. I want to find an opportunity to explore the true origin of devil fruit. Quickly, the evolution point will once again reach 100 points. Upgrade devouring ability. Of course, NR chose to upgrade his main devouring ability first. This can affect the speed of obtaining his evolutionary points. Devouring upgrade successful. New book seeking data. Flowers. Evaluation ticket. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 1. Venom Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. One Piece World. Advance to the 6th floor of the city. A prison guard on patrol collapsed without warning, with no hope of survival. Immediately, the prison guard swiftly lifted him away, seemingly not surprising. The remaining prison guards continued to patrol. But couldn't help but whisper. Ah, it's like this again, I died inexplicably. I heard that nearly 10 prison guards have died in the past few days. What's going on? Who knows, maybe it was influenced by the warden's poison gas. Cough cough. Don't talk nonsense, hurry up and patrol. Accompanied by whispers of conversation, the patrol soldiers gradually drifted away. And they didn't even notice. In the dark corners of light and shadow. A black sticky substance the size of a fist, perfectly blending with darkness. The black tentacles protruding from the mucus occasionally drive the overall peristalsis. At the same time, it appears particularly eerie and imperceptible. No one can imagine. This black mucus is actually a living substance. Parasitic host dies, this parasitism gains 2 evolution points. Detected that the current evolution point has reached 10 and can evolve into a new organism. Do you want to evolve? We have finally reached the conditions for evolution. That black mucus seemed to make some kind of excited sound. NAR traveled to the world of One Piece a few days ago. Appearing in the city of advancement. And become the form of Venom birth, an extremely weak form. But fortunately, awakening the evolutionary system. As long as we obtain the evolutionary points, we can continuously evolve. For this, he gave himself a new name. Nar. The name of the god of symbiosis. Title. NAR, Venom, form. Birth body, evolvable, survival time alone. 1 hour. Ability, parasitism. By parasitizing the host for survival, successful parasitism can obtain evolutionary points. Evolution point. 10. The birth form only has parasitic ability. Other abilities have not been awakened. It's like a newborn baby with no strength to hold on to a chicken. And the survival time alone is very short. If he does not parasitize the new host within an hour, he will die completely. Fortunately, NAR has reached the conditions for evolution. Let me see the effect of evolution. Evolution. NAR no longer hesitated and began to evolve. Buzzing accompanied by the disappearance of evolution points on the panel. The surface of the mucus in the shadow suddenly began to scatter ripples in circles. NAL suddenly felt an inexplicable force surge into his body. But his current physical condition. It's just a black, sticky lump. The power of evolution made NAL feel extremely comfortable. After half a minute of this feeling, it dissipated like a tide. Evolution completed. Birth form new body. The sticky substance perched in the dark corner grew more than 3 times in volume, and a thin layer of black light seemed to condense on the surface, becoming tighter and more solid, with an increasingly strong evil aura. Under the control of NAL's consciousness. 2 tentacles separated and emerged. Previously, he could only split extremely short tentacles. At this moment, tentacles can split out. Tentacles can extend several meters. 2 black tentacles shot out like arrows. Absorbed the stones at the top of the prison cell. Nar quietly moved from the dark corner to a corner on the roof. The mucus has become hard and full of toughness, and its strength and absorption have been greatly improved. Now I finally have a certain level of strength. Nar felt his change and his mood became joyful. At the same time, summon the panel. Title: Nar, Form. Newborn body, 0/100, survival time alone. 12 hours. Ability, Parasitic, LV1+, parasitic host can enhance the host's strength by 3 times in all aspects. Successful parasitism will obtain evolutionary points. Devouring, LV1+, devouring life can directly convert life energy into evolution points. The stronger the life energy, the more evolution points it can transform into. The current conversion efficiency is 30%. Next level. 50%. Unlocking abilities. Gene replication, juvenile, offspring creation, growth, high temperature, acoustic immunity, complete body, hallucination. Evolution point. 0. The panel data has been completely refreshed. The parasitic ability has finally changed. Now the parasitic host is much more convenient. Also gain additional devouring ability. Nar is very excited. Swallowing is too important for me. And it seems that the devouring ability can also be upgraded. Devouring vitality and transforming it into an evolutionary point. It can save a lot of time for Nar's evolution. The most crucial thing is, devouring can still upgrade. After upgrading, the efficiency of evolution point conversion is higher. If we rely solely on parasitic accumulation of evolutionary points, Nar's next evolution will not accumulate 100 evolution points until the monkey year and horse month. And this is the evolution of new organisms. Subsequently, there will be juvenile, adult, and complete organisms. There will only be more evolution points needed. The ability to devour undoubtedly gave Nal strong confidence and confidence. There are still some abilities that need to be unlocked, and it seems that further evolution is needed to activate them. The urgent task now is to find a suitable host. Nar glanced at the individual survival time, which was less than 12 hours. He put away the panel, and the sticky liquid extended countless black tentacles, moving on the ceiling. While moving forward, observe the surrounding prisoners. Pirate Balin, matching degree 46%. Fallen Navy Curtis, matching rate of 51%. 30% 44% Nar can see the parasitic matching degree. The higher the matching degree, the longer the parasitic time it takes. It also means being able to maximize the ability of symbiotes. If possible. Nar firmly does not want to parasitize a meat-clad warrior. Fighting only foolishly punches to the flesh. Tainima is stunned. Although the basic attributes of Venom can make hand-to-hand combat very fierce, Nar doesn't like it very much. After searching around quickly, Nal was a bit dumbfounded. These prisoners don't even have a passing standard for matching. Not worthy of being a host at all. Not to mention, Nar's selection of parasites has another purpose. That is, the other party can help themselves quickly obtain evolutionary points. Nar always has a time limit for surviving alone until he becomes a complete whole. He needs to live first. Secondly, evolution is needed. He wants to evolve. Evolve to the point where you don't need to rely on anyone. Evolved into an immortal god. So Nal wouldn't pay much attention to those ordinary guys with low compatibility. Suddenly, Nar stopped in front of a cell. The words in front of me suddenly changed. Matching degree. 99%, a perfect match. Nar was very surprised. How could someone achieve such a high level of compatibility with themselves? Who is it? In the cell. A tall blond man wearing a black and white prison uniform, with his back against a cold stone wall, and wearing a pair of red sunglasses. All hands and feet are shackled, restricting movement. Surprisingly, it's him. Nar's heart trembled slightly. A guy with almost perfect match, it's undoubtedly Domingo. Defeated by the protagonist Luffy, the hero. As a loser, Doflamingo's face was filled with a hint of desolation and extreme unwillingness. He never thought he would be treated as an abandoned child by the world government. I never thought it would fail. Failure is the most unwillingness obsession of Domingo. He yearns for freedom. Desire to stand at the center of the world again. More eager for revenge. Revenge the whole world. With his current mindset, he will definitely become my most useful chess piece. After a little contemplation, Nar chose to appear directly. What Domingo needs most now is strength. Exactly what Nar can give. The flickering black slime on the ceiling easily passed through the stone railing of the sea tower and entered the prison cell. Countless mucus flowed in mid-air from above. Finally, it condensed into a devilish and ferocious face, with two white patterns appearing in the eyes and fangs exposed. A low, hoarse voice suddenly sounded. What a mess. Duo Flamenco. This sound. Like a devil talking nonsense. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Demon Resurrection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Nar and Doflamingo then left the 6th floor. Enter the 5th level of extreme cold hell. Swallow many military wolves in the extremely cold hell and add another wave of evolution points. The evolutionary point has broken through 100 again. Nar is not stingy. Directly elevate gene replication to LV2. The probability of a person with the ability to devour demon fruits replicating their demon fruit ability has increased to 50%. Now the data panel is as follows. Title. Nar, Form. Juvenile Body, April 13, 1000, Ability, Parasitic, LV2+, Parasitic Host, can enhance the host's strength by 8 times in all aspects. Successful parasitism will earn evolution points. Note. If you upgrade again, please evolve to a growth body. Devouring, LV2+, devouring life can directly convert life energy into evolution points. The stronger the life energy, the more evolution points it can transform into. The current conversion efficiency is 50%. Next level. 70%. Note. To upgrade again, please evolve to a growth body. Gene replication, LV2+, by devouring, the gene sequence that devours life can be replicated. If a demon fruit ability is present, there is a 50% chance of replicating its demon fruit ability, with a 70% chance in the next stage. If the demon fruit is directly devoured, 100% of the demon fruit ability can be obtained. Note. To upgrade again, please evolve to a growth body. Unlocking abilities. Offspring creation, growth, high temperature acoustic immunity, complete body, hallucination. Evolutionary point. 13.4, it seems to have reached the bottleneck. To improve one's ability level, one must evolve to a growth body. 1000 evolution points. I need to gradually accumulate them. I hope the guys in the city don't disappoint me. Nar murmured in his heart. He can't wait to devour more life energy. At the same time, Nar is even more clear about the relationship between form and ability. Only by enhancing the form of the Venom can one upgrade their abilities. Simply put, the form of Venom is the general category, while various abilities are classified. Must evolve form. Only then can we improve our abilities. Afterwards, Nar and Flamenco arrived at the 4th floor. Burning hell. At the same time, it is also the location of Director Magellan. Report, the troops have assembled. A prison guard reported to a figure holding a trident. The figure slowly turned around, looking quite frightening. He had his upper body bare, his belly bulging like a demon, his eyebrows extending outwards like horns, and he had a pharaoh's fake beard. He wore a yellow and green pharaoh's headscarf, with his hair extending from the headscarf, looking like a combination of a demon and a pharaoh. Ha ha ha, well done. Hannibal praised and couldn't help but turn his head to look in the direction of the mobile toilet. He couldn't help but say, when the enemy appears, I will lead the troops to take them down. In this way, all the credit will be mine. When I get promoted and become the director, I will decide to push the city forward, ha ha ha. Hannibal was immersed in the fantasy of promotion and secretly laughed out loud. Magellan is still excreting in the toilet due to the side effects of poisonous fruits. After all, that's a ruthless person who has to excrete for 10 hours a day. Duh duh duh. The sound of dull footsteps slowly came from the darkness. Hannibal suddenly grasped his trident and shouted, everyone, be on guard. Although he loves to fantasize about promotion. But my ability is not weak, and I have a strong sense of responsibility. When you notice something unusual, immediately alert yourself. Is this grand battle welcoming lousy? A gloomy and strange laughter came. Domingo appeared completely in Hannibal's sight. Don't you think it's a big black monster who escaped from prison? Hannibal was slightly taken aback, very puzzled. The footage transmitted from the surveillance clearly shows a tall and evil black monster. How come it's now become Domingo? But soon he only thought about the credit and laughed, saying, Domingo, this place is already surrounded and you can't run away at all. Be obedient and take it. Arresting the jailbroken Doflamingo is another big credit, and he can definitely get promoted now. Ha ha ha, I'm going to become the director. Hannibal, who realized he had slipped his tongue, quickly covered his mouth. Doflamenco was too lazy to pay attention to this brainless guy and turned his head to look in the direction of moving the toilet. Then he said to himself as if to himself. Venom, hurry up and make a quick decision. Ah, come on, these guys are too weak. Nal said uninterested. Then he released his power and handed it over to Domingo for control. Black mucus instantly seeped out of the pores, completely enveloping Doflamenco. In an instant, Doflamingo's body grew larger, transforming into a black monster emitting an evil aura all over. The slightly overflowing momentum shook the ground underfoot with cracks. This is Duo Flamenco, which has undergone an 8-fold increase. Plus the power of Venom. Even more incredible. Like a figure from hell, emitting a demonic aura. See this scene. The prison guards opened their mouths in terror. Their souls feel an inexplicable tremble. Hannibal was shocked by this scene and suddenly took 2 steps back, with a cold sweat rising from his forehead. He exclaimed in shock. What the hell is this? Not waiting for him to react. Domingo's fingers twitched eerily. Countless black threads appeared around him. Like defending the king of hell, swaying slowly. This eerie scene completely unsettled Hannibal. He waved his arm and shouted loudly, fire. Kill him. Fire. The prison guards, filled with fear, raised their black guns and aimed them at the liquefied Doflamingo, pulling the trigger. Bang bang bang. Bang bang bang. Countless bullets shot from all directions on the ground. In an instant, it enveloped Domingo. He was completely unmoved. Even too lazy to resist. Ding ding dang dang. A continuous crisp sound. Bullets that could easily penetrate the skull landed on the dark skin of Dofran. It's like bouncing away like a bouncing ball. It's just sparks from friction. The Venom defense cannot even be damaged by a rocket launcher. Even if Nar is only a juvenile. But it's not just the effect that bullets can produce. Venom can be said to be the weakness of the devil fruit ability that frees Flamenco from it. Whether it's seawater or seawall bullets. Flamenco's lips parted, his venomous smile becoming increasingly eerie and terrifying. Next second, he hooked his fingers in a strange posture. Whoosh whoosh. The black silk thread is like a pear flower in a rainstorm, bursting out from the sky. That speed is even faster than a bullet. The prison guards were unresponsive and were instantly pierced by black threads, taking their lives. Devour and activate. Evolution point plus 1.3, evolution point plus 0.4, evolution point plus 0.7, evolution point plus 0.5. Another batch of evolution points have entered the market. Nal, however, was not satisfied and sighed in his heart. Ah, it's far behind the guy on the 6th floor. However small the fly is, it's still flesh. Let's deal with it. The evolution points provided by ordinary prison guards are indeed limited. Originally, life energy was weak, and half of it was wasted by devouring and transforming it. NR didn't get much at all. Life energy is related to a person's strength. Especially for guys like Kapu and Kato, the life they contain will be particularly massive. Damn it. What kind of monster is this? Hannibal gritted his teeth and roared. Grasped the trident tightly with both hands to slightly prevent the palms from trembling. Hey! Who allowed you to be reckless in the advancing city? Poisonous dragon. Magellan just finished resolving the matter and saw the scene of his subordinates being mercilessly slaughtered. Especially after being killed, the prison guards turned into ground pieces of flesh and bones. Anger surged into the chest in an instant. The poison fruit ability is activated. The purple venom, emitting poisonous gas, condensed and turned into a ferocious dragon head, roaring and tearing at Doflamingo. Not good. Wear a gas mask quickly. The director has taken action. Hurry up. The remaining prison guards became even more anxious when they saw Magellan take action. Take out the gas mask desperately and wear it. And the ferocious purple venomous dragon did not even touch Doflamingo. In mid-air, it was shattered by countless bursts of black silk threads. The black silk thread shimmered with a dark glow. For a while. It is unclear whether it is the entanglement of armed colors or the fusion of mucus. Anyway, no matter which one. At least the black silk thread is not affected by the venom of the poisonous fruit. A tall figure with poisonous gas flowing all over his body and purple venom surrounding him walked step by step, his voice extremely low. Who are you? The 6th floor never held you in custody. The person who came is Director Magellan. The owner of poisonous fruits. At the same time, it is also the strongest combat force in advancing the city. 2 years ago, the Poison Man almost got Luffy and Blackbeard offline at the same time. He's duo Flamenco. Hannibal suddenly roared, loudly reminding Magellan. Do you have Flamenco? Magellan was taken aback at the words and furrowed his brow fiercely. He was personally imprisoned by Domingo. The monster in front of me, apart from its silk thread characteristics, has no trace of the characteristics of Domingo. Magellan, you're really forgetful. The deep laughter of Doflamingo came out. But the movements on his hands never stopped. The prison guard had very little left in 2 sentences of effort. His current strength, combined with the ability to fuse threads and fruits, is truly a perfect host. Damn it. You're really Domingo. Magellan was shocked and lost his composure. He couldn't figure out how Domingo became such a monster. The situation is critical. If he doesn't take action again, the prison guards on the 4th floor will really be killed. Poisonous pufferfish. Magellan continuously spat out a large number of poisonous balls, shooting towards Doflamingo. But without exception. The poison ball was shattered by black thread in mid-air. Dover, just give him a good time with your domineering demeanor. Nal suddenly said to Doflamingo. Only by making Domingo realize how powerful he is now can he be more obedient to himself. Since you said that, then we won't waste time. I'll have to find Toripole and the others later. In the ferocious smile of Doflamingo, there was a hint of cruelty. On his now venomous face, he appears even more terrifying. The white pattern on the eye area seemed to contract sharply. Boom! A massive and indescribable aura. In an instant it erupted from Doflamingo. Overlord and domineering. Release. Seeking a fresh flower. A review ticket. New book seeking data. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Gene Reproduction. Poisonous Fruit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The strong and domineering aura suddenly rose and roared. Centered around Domingo. Impacting the entire scorching hell in an instant. Black lightning wreaks havoc. The ground collapsed like broken glass. The wall erupted with clear cracks. The spirit of the tide passing by passed by in a flash. Prisoners, prisoners. Including Hannibal, all rolled their eyes and passed out. Strong and domineering is like a real domineering color. Even Hannibal couldn't bear it. The venom behind Magellan collapsed visibly. It's like a strong pressure rising on the sea surface, pushing the seawater apart. If you look carefully, you can discover it. Magellan's body was trembling. Because an inexplicable fear enveloped him. Such a terrifying and domineering aura. The substantial impact generated is even more terrifying. Like a fierce beast, extremely terrifying. This is really Domingo. Magellan was momentarily confused. It's unbelievable. Will Domingo become so powerful? If that's the case, as for being caught and pushed into the city. After all, he is the prison director. Force yourself to calm down. More venom gushed out of his body. Constantly condensing and compressing behind him. Eventually forming a massive skeletal giant form. Poisonous giant soldier. Judgment of hell. You devil. Accept my judgment. Magellan roared and let go with all his might. The fierce poison of the skeleton-shaped giant is different from the purple poison that is usually released. This move is a specially made bright red poison. Any substance in contact with it will be infected and gradually spread, eroding everything. As long as a person comes into contact with the poison, it will gradually spread until death. This is Magellan's method of suppressing the bottom of the box. He really wants to kill Doflamingo. Is it going to explode with all your might? That's a bit interesting. But unfortunately, the weak will never understand their own weakness. Just like you can't even feel the difference with Lousy. Domingo laughed wildly. As for the trial of Lousy. You don't deserve it. He didn't even consider Magellan in his eyes. With the power of venom. He, who is already wild and arrogant, is even more arrogant. Starting from this moment. No one in this world can judge me. Doflamingo opened his arms and laughed wildly. An extremely arrogant posture. Extremely arrogant words. In Magellan's eyes, he is simply a complete madman. Against the world. That self-seeking death. He increasingly believed that a madman like Domingo must die. The domineering aura on Doflamingo's body slowly converged. But it's not dissipation. But transformed into a substantial existence in a magical way. The ground beneath my feet quickly transformed into countless black threads, like a black ocean, with the threads floating and floating. The awakening power of the thread fruit. The black silk thread condensed into a bundle of sharp, pitch-black cone-shaped columns with arm thickness. Shit! The dark lightning hissed. Surrounding around the body of Duo Flamenco. Wrapped around black silk thread. Bullying. Start up. With the enhancement of Venom amplification, it's natural. The ground, originally paved with black bricks and stones, has turned into countless tangled black threads. Like an abyss of hell. Emit a ghostly luster. Filled with terrifying evil and eerie things. Against the backdrop of the liquefying poison, Doflamingo looks more like a demon emerging from the abyss. Black lightning swirls and roars. Abyss. Lightning. Devil. This scene. Bringing a great impact to Magellan. He widened his eyes and looked horrified. An inexplicable fear emerged in my heart, trembling as I said. Hegemonic entanglement. He naturally recognized the domineering skill. Magellan is simply unbelievable. Is the black monster in front of him really Domingo? Magellan was slightly surprised. Domingo waved his fingers slightly and growled softly, saying, "Extreme Black Line Dragon." This is a new move he has comprehended. Fruit. Mucus. Bullying. Integrate into one. The bundle-shaped black silk thread wrapped in a domineering color burst out with black lightning, like a black dragon leaping from the abyss, roaring and ferocious. Magellan can't care so much anymore. The skeleton-like giant condensed with red venom, carrying fierce poison gas, suddenly pounced on the black lightning-coiled dragon. Pup, at the moment of both sides attacking and touching. Or in other words, the moment before it was fully exposed. The body of the skull-shaped red venom giant can be seen collapsing with the naked eye. It's like an invisible force landing on its surface. Suppressing the skeleton-like venom giant. Just in the blink of an eye. Wow, the roaring lightning enveloped the black dragon, tearing apart the massive venomous giant. Countless blood-red venom covered the sky and earth like rain. Corroding the ground, walls, and fainting prison guards. But he couldn't touch half of Domingo. The ferocious and roaring transformed black dragon rapidly magnified in Magellan's pupils. What a terrifying burden. Magellan's expression was almost frozen. My strongest move was defeated like this. Ba Wan is so domineering. Surprisingly domineering. Drink it. Magellan let out an unwilling roar. Purple venom gushed out from the fist. Suddenly, a poisonous punch was thrown out. Wheezing, silk thread black dragon roars past. Venom fist shattered with a loud bang. Straight through Magellan's chest. The heart was shattered in an instant. Advancing the strongest combat power of the city, Magellan, die. Magellan never truly recognized the difference between him and Domingo until his death. Domingo, whose venom has increased by 8 times. Stronger than Luffy when he became the 5th emperor. Even able to master the tyranny. The combat effectiveness has long been incomparable. Launch devouring through the black threads of Magellan's body. Next second. Nal heard a prompt sound. Gene replication successful, acquiring new ability. Poison fruit power. Is it a fusion evolution point plus 15, so lucky? Nar couldn't help but be taken aback. Directly replicating the power of the poisonous fruit was something he never expected. Half chance. Unfortunately, Nar caught up with him. Fusion. Nar silently recited in his heart. An inexplicable force quietly merged. The uncontrollable smile on Duo Flamenco's face. Grasping his fists tightly, the black silk thread danced around him. Venom, this feeling is really wonderful. The domineering power is so powerful. He has developed a deep dependence on the power of venom. If there is no venom, Domingo would think of dealing with Magellan himself and could only awaken his power through the fruit of the thread. The outcome is still unknown. But now, he wrapped himself in a domineering aura. Quickly kill Magellan. The difference between heaven and earth. When I was in the extremely cold hell, I told you that being domineering is the ticket to the summit. In the future, there is still time to study domineering and deal with these guys first. Nar's voice sounded slowly. Upon hearing these words, Dominic naturally did not hesitate. Black silk thread shuttles through, harvesting evolutionary points. Evolution point plus 8.7, evolution point plus 1.3, evolution point plus 0.7, evolution point plus 0.8, advanced the city and Magellan, as the first great gift to the Navy. Venom, there's no other problem, just go find those guys. Domingo was particularly excited. Even so, before making a decision, would subconsciously ask Nal for his opinion. Let's go, if there's no fourth floor, it's likely to be locked up on the upper floors, Nal replied. The person they are looking for is naturally the other cadres of the Don Quixote family. Toripole, Pika, Diamante as capable cadres, they were also detained in the City of Advancement without any accidents. After 2 people harvest the 4th layer of Scorching Hell. Rush to the 3rd level, Hunger Hell. At the same time, Nar successfully integrated his new ability. The Poison Fruit ability. Now, he has become a true Venom. But it's different from Magellan. Nar has complete control over the Poison Fruit ability. Being able to control as one pleases. The ability of poisonous fruits has become a carrier of the Nar gene. If he wants to. Every tentacle and whisker of a split body, including black silk thread. All can instantly release strong toxins. But if he doesn't want to. So the whole body will have no toxicity at all. In front of Nal. Any ability. They will all become his vassals. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Domingo's determination to compete in the world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hunger Hell. Due to the hot air rising from the scorching hell below, this layer is extremely hot. In addition, with the torture of water and hunger strikes, the prisoners are already in a semi-dead state. As expected. Toripole, Pika, and Diamante, 3 senior officials, are all detained here. I say, what kind of person are you? What do you want to do? Torpole's tone was extremely weak. He looked at the black monster in front of him, his expression couldn't help but become frightened. I say, is his catchphrase. Torpole, you can't even recognize me. The mucus on Doflamingo's cheeks receded, revealing his face. He manipulated the black thread to violently open the prison and rescue Torpole. Duo, Tuafu. How could you become such a terrifying person? I said, what's wrong with your abilities? Dover, what exactly happened? Toripole flicked his snot, his face full of disbelief. How could our young master become a monster? Domingo did not respond. When? Upon hearing this, Domingo found Diamante and Pika's cell in a domineering manner. Remove the secure door with black silk thread. Twist off the shackles of the sea tower stones on their bodies. Bring 2 senior cadres to the front. Anyway, we have to explain everything. Why don't we gather all together before we talk? Nal is quite familiar with Flamenco. With his temperament, it is impossible for him to escape without these cadres. So he didn't stop either. Dover. Diamante's face was sickly pale, and she suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Are you really the young master? Pika screamed in a sharp voice. His appearance was also very weak, and the wound in front of him had not yet completely scabbed, with blood oozing from the bandage. Sauron's knife almost split open for him. Being able to live is already very fortunate. When they saw the monster's face clearly in front of them, people were all dumbfounded. What exactly happened to my young master? However, Nar could clearly feel the surging killing intent that suddenly surged in Doflamenco's heart. 3 senior cadres, all looking half dead. After the battle ends, they were all seriously injured. Not dying is like picking up a life, because they are also capable individuals. So he was not sentenced, but instead imprisoned. But after all, this is a prison. Still a hungry hell. The wound on the body has not been effectively treated. If we continue at this level, we might end up dead one day. This led to great anger and a surge of murderous intent in Doflamenco's heart. I will help you recover 10 times what you have suffered. There was an unprecedented brutality in Duo Flamenco's eyes. An incredibly domineering declaration. Let me introduce our new partner. Venom. It's him who helped me successfully escape from prison and gave me incredibly powerful strength. The tone in which he spoke to Nal. Using me. Not lousy. Doflamenco's whole body contracted with mucus, and the mucus that spread from his back formed a ferocious-looking head. Everyone, please take good care of me in the future. Nar smiled and said. Although it was a smile, it also appeared particularly ferocious and terrifying. Toripol, Diamanti, and Pika all looked bewildered. They even suspect that they are dreaming. Afterwards, it was naturally Domingo who roughly recounted the process of the incident. At the same time, the crowd also slaughtered from the 3rd layer to the 2nd layer. Several more cadres have been liberated. Finally, blood washed the 1st layer. Finally rescued all the cadres. Senil Peak, Sugar, Gutilis, Rauji, Delinger, Jorah, Mahabas, and Buffalo. The Don Quixote family, in a strange way, gathered once again in the city of advancement. Except for Domingo, everyone else was injured. What's even more speechless about Nal is that, these cadres are also a group of oddities. The bizarre demon fruit ability seems to have no effect on combat effectiveness. In summary, one word. All weak chickens. If Nal chooses, he specifies to choose extreme solo flow. It's all right now. Gathering such a group of elderly, weak, injured, disabled, women, and children, they will not fall behind. He expressed that he was very tired. Fortunately, the only consolation is that the evolution point is almost reaching 900. It can quickly evolve into a growth form. How many times can parasitism increase at that time? Nar is looking forward to it. Just as everyone was thinking about how to leave. The naval fleet stationed outside the Gate of Justice has provided support. The navies on the ship discovered these guys wearing prison uniforms and immediately opened fire. Under the sunglasses, Domingo's eyes were cold. Hurting Don Quixote family officials in front of him. 5 fingers suddenly spread open. Silk thread burst. The ability of thread fruit is like an evolutionary enhancement. The silk thread that just spread out along the fingertips of the 5 fingers kept splitting in the air, and finally fell sharply like raindrops covering the sky and earth. Don't destroy the warship. Nal timely spoke up and reminded. If you want to leave, you still have to rely on naval vessels. I got it. Domingo understands. The aura of seeing and hearing enveloped the entire audience. Accurately stagger the forward warship, only to eliminate all the navy on the general's ship. As for the other warships, all submerged in the sea amidst the burst of silk thread. Evolution point plus 3.2, evolution point plus 1.3, evolution point plus 0.5, evolution point plus 0.7. Seeing the strength of the venom form of Doflamenco, all the cadres were shocked and their eyes widened. Even if Franco explains the whole story clearly, after seeing it with one's own eyes, I still find it unbelievable. This cannot be described by common sense. Doflamenco lowered his head and looked at his palm. The palm is wrapped in black mucus. He felt a new power from it. Venom. What happened? Why does it feel like it's different? Duo Flamenco asked in surprise. Just now when he was operating his power, he felt something. I'm just not sure. At this moment, I couldn't help but ask Nal. Nar's voice came to mind in Doflamenco's mind. You didn't feel wrong, it's the power of poisonous fruits. I am able to replicate gene sequences, and if I am lucky, I can directly obtain the opponent's demon fruit ability. However, it is not 100% successful. There's nothing to hide about this kind of thing. The ability to replicate demon fruits. Do you mean you can bring me various demon fruit abilities? Domingo's face completely changed. Shocked, shocked. Excited. Various complex emotions emerged in an instant. If you're lucky enough to successfully replicate, you can really understand it that way. Nr chuckled and whispered. His words have once again elevated his position infinitely in the heart of Doflamingo. Venom. You are my greatest benefactor. I will spare no effort to help you obtain life energy at all costs. As long as we work together, even the Fourth Emperor can do anything. Domingo naturally understands the power of multiple demon fruit abilities converging in one body. His determination to compete in the world is even stronger. Also more confident. And the source of all this is Venom. Seeking flowers. Seeking evaluation tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Sea King. Evolutionary growth body. Seeking freshness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Go to the control room and open the door of justice. Nar and Doflamingo led a group of cadres to leave in a grand manner aboard a naval warship. After they left, the entire prison fell into a silent silence. Nar and Venom slaughter the entire advancing city. Prisoners, prison guards, navy, wardens. Not a single survivor was left. This is definitely in the past century. The most bloody, brutal, and tragic event. It may even become a trigger, igniting storms that sweep across the world. And the initiator. Nar and Doflamingo. No burden in my heart. Even. Nal is still very dissatisfied. Because the city of advancement failed to evolve into a growth form, it's simply disappointing. A bunch of garbage. Evolution point. 963. There are still 37 evolution points left, and Nar can evolve to a growth body. Everyone is leaving on a naval ship. Naval ships are equipped with special power devices. The bottom of the ship is covered with a layer of sea-building stone shell to prevent being detected by sea kings. The group of elderly, weak, young, sick and disabled on the ship gave Nal a headache. Cadres in this state are simply unable to provide assistance. It may even become a burden. Nar pondered deeply on how to arrange these people in the future. Tory pole, sticky fruit, with a bounty of 99 million yuan. Diamandi, fluttering fruit, offering a reward of 99 million yuan. Pika, stone fruit, with a bounty of 99 million yuan. Senile peak, traveling fruit. Sugar, childhood fruit. Gutaraus, exploding fruit. Rao Ji, the old man of physical arts. Delinji, do you have fish man? Mahabas, tons of fruits. Joila, the fruit of art. Buffalo, turn the fruit. There are a total of 11 people. If they are useless, they may still be useful. If they are useful, they are not so useful. Nar was extremely conflicted about how to place these people. Domingo wouldn't abandon these guys. While he was pondering, he accidentally noticed the extremely calm sea around him. He suddenly realized something. Wait. Dover. Is the advancing city in the windless zone? Nal suddenly exclaimed with a hint of inexplicable excitement in his voice. In just a moment, he realized something very important. Advanced City. Windless Zone. Sea King Class. That's right. What's wrong? Domingo is not sure why. That is to say, this is a gathering place for Sea Kings. Nar's faint voice became even more excited. Sea Kings. Flamenco exclaimed in surprise, Venom, do you mean that Sea Kings can also provide energy for you? He finally realized what Nal meant. I hope so. Go take a look. As Nar's words fell, countless mucus gushed out of Doflamingo's pores, enveloping his entire body and transforming into a venomous liquid form, resembling a black giant monster. He is now with Domingo. Anyone who wants to control their body is a matter of thought. Wait a minute. Venom. This is in the sea, exclaimed Domingo, suddenly thinking of something. I am a demon fruit expert. Unexpectedly taking me to sea. Is the Venom crazy? What are you panicking about? Even the sea tower stones are useless. What kind of seawater are you afraid of? Nar laughed. Dominating the body of Domingo as he races rapidly across the sea. Stepping on black threads that seem to have emerged from nothingness, my figure moved around. Spread your aura upon seeing and hearing. Spread to the maximum extent around and perceive everything that can be perceived. Suddenly, Nar sensed a massive wave of life. 100 meters ahead on the left. Go 500 meters deep into the seawater. And that life is still moving at high speed. Up. Sea Kings. I hope you don't disappoint me. Nar roared low. Immediately, without any warning, he dived into the sea and disappeared without a trace. On a warship. A group of people were stunned in the cold sea breeze. Young master, he jumped into the sea. Guderaus roared loudly. Hurry up and save the young master. Senil charged forward, but suddenly stopped. He is a water fruit expert. But that doesn't mean he can swim in the sea. Wait a minute. Don't panic. The young master won't mess around. Diamante remained calm in stopping everyone's absurd actions. Didn't you hear the conversation between the young master and Venom? They should have been intentional. Pika's sharp voice also sounded. I said, how did Dover become so crazy? Toripol exclaimed with lingering palpitations. The mucus on the body was dragging on the ground, and the snot was still lingering, not caring about the appearance at all. Sugar is looking behind him at the location of the sunken sea surface of Domingo. Although Delingi is a fish man and not afraid of seawater, his wounds on his body are difficult to move. Buffalo also cannot turn around. The people on the ship were dumbfounded and stared at each other, completely unaware of what Doflamingo and Venom were going to do. The young master is getting stronger and stronger, Senil suddenly said seriously. Yes, on the contrary, we are gradually falling behind Dover, Diamante sighed. He spoke out everyone's thoughts. Everyone knows very well. Domingo is no longer comparable. But we still need to consider them, even leaving on a warship. You know, this is on a great voyage. It's not that easy to return to the new world. Besides, they are all a group of wounded soldiers. The atmosphere suddenly became silent. Diamandi, Pika and other officials are filled with guilt in their hearts. Below the seawater. A black figure swiftly shuttled through the deep sea water. There were many silky threads floating around him, like black water plants. A giant object measuring 500 meters runs unstoppably through the deep sea below. The depth of this seawater is already very dim. It is more like a predator in the abyss, unrestrained. But suddenly, this sea king wriggled its body anxiously. Stirring the surrounding seawater, it was turbulent. It seems to sense a feeling of discomfort in its body, gradually becoming uneasy. If there is enough light. You can clearly see the changes in the Sea King species. Under its blue skin, black threads spread wildly like blood vessels. The abnormality in the body finally made this Sea King react as encountering an enemy. Its body suddenly swayed and ejected like a deep-sea shell. A massive body, yet extremely agile in the water. But everything is too late. The source of the black thread spreading beneath its skin scales is in the hands of a black figure. He showed a silent smile in the seawater. Shrink your 5 fingers like a puppet master controlling a puppet. All black threads suddenly shrink. Puzzy. Puzzy. The sound of flesh and blood breaking suddenly permeated the deep sea. Along with it spread the special colored blood of the Sea Kings. The black silk thread mercilessly cuts the flesh and blood off the bodies of Sea Kings. Even touching hard bones. Finally, the Sea Kings were bent in a strange arc. Wrapped with black silk thread. Make the Sea Kings unable to move at all. A massive body of 500 meters. Caught in the deep sea like a chicken by an eagle. Devouring. Activate. Evolution point plus 50, evolutionary point reaches 1000, can evolve into a growing body. Do you want to evolve? Looking for flower evaluation tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Child Creation. The Symbiosis Army Plan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hear a prompt sound. NAL instantly became excited. Sea Kings can provide evolutionary points. Even offering 50 evolution points at once. And this is still half of the energy. If it can be converted 100%, it would be 100 evolution points. This is what a Sea King of about 500 meters provides. Such a degree of Sea King class. For Sea Kings, it can only be considered as a child level. The known peak of the Sea King class. It is a giant monster measuring 5,000 meters. Venom. How about it? Domingo urgently asked in his mind. He regarded himself as one with the venom. Believe in Venom without doubt. Not bad. Very strong energy, much stronger than those guys in the propulsion city. NAR is extremely satisfied. Previously, he also discussed how to obtain evolutionary points. If we were to eat humans, the measurement unit would start at 10,000. Moreover, the evolution points provided by ordinary people are even less than 1 point. Make him very uninterested. Fortunately, he discovered the new continent. Sea King class. Can provide a large number of evolutionary points. It seems that even the God of Fortune is helping us. Domenico's tone became lighter. The tension just now disappeared. NAR shuttled through the seawater and returned to the ship. The body was handed over to Flamenco, while I watched as the accumulated evolution point reached 1013 and prepared to evolve. Evolution. NAR's thoughts twitched slightly. The number of evolution points on the panel quietly changes. 1013 pure power surged out like a tide, filled with NAL's mucus. Countless cells are like sublimation. Split, proliferate, transform. Evolution. I don't know how long it has been. NAR only felt clear and clear, and the mucus brought an unprecedented sense of strength. Evolved successfully. Juvenile body. Growth body, title. NAR, form. Growth body, 1.3/100000, ability, parasitic, LV2+, parasitic host, successful parasitism will obtain evolution points, which can comprehensively enhance the host's strength by 8 times. Note. Upgradable, upgrading requires 1000 evolution points. Devouring, LV2+, devouring life, can directly convert life energy into evolution points. The stronger the life energy, the more evolution points can be transformed, and the current conversion efficiency is 50%. Next level. 70%. Note. Upgradable, upgrade requires 1000 evolution points. Gene replication, LV2+, by devouring, the gene sequence that devours life can be replicated. If a demon fruit ability is present, there is a 50% chance of replicating its demon fruit ability, with a 70% chance in the next stage. If the demon fruit is directly devoured, 100% of the demon fruit ability can be obtained. Note. Upgraded, requiring 1000 evolution points to upgrade. Sub-body creation, LV1+, splitting one's own mucus to create offspring. The offspring will always be a part of oneself, and the body unconditionally controls and fuses. The offspring devours life energy and will provide feedback to the body according to the body conversion rate. Note. Upgradable, requires 100 evolution points. Unlocking abilities. High temperature acoustic wave immunity, complete body, hallucination, complete body, Evolution point. 13, isn't this so? Called offspring, causing me to split off from myself and act alone. And after division, it can also merge at any time and have absolute control. It sounds like a clone. So, it feels like every individual is me. Nar analyzed the creation of offspring and suddenly came up with a new idea in his mind. Since we can create offspring, does that mean that the dozen or so useless officials on the ship are all useful? On the panel, a separate data panel appeared after the creation of descendants. Nar unfolds the panel. It is a detailed introduction to the ability of offspring. Sub-body creation, LV1+, number of producible offspring. 10 each offspring requires 10 evolution points to manufacture. First level descendant. 0. Parasitism can increase the host's strength by 2 times, with basic abilities such as devouring, gene replication, and tricolor dominance. In addition, you can choose to grant an additional demon fruit ability to the host. Note. You need to upgrade, child creation, to LV2 in order to continue upgrading. Nar's emotions couldn't help but become hot as he watched the introduction about the offspring. An idea came to mind. Descendants can enhance the strength of parasitic hosts. At the same time, Nar can also endow his offspring with additional demon fruit abilities. And grant Hauner the ability not to lose it, equivalent to copying instead of cutting. The most crucial. It is devoured by the offspring, directly related to the ontology. That is to say, even the first-level offspring can only enhance the host's strength by twice. But its devouring ability conversion rate is 50%. And the conversion rate will continue to increase as Nar upgrades his devouring ability. This means, as long as there are enough strong offspring and suitable hosts. So, no need for Nar to do it himself. There will be a continuous stream of evolutionary points. The ability to create offspring enables Nar evolution to see new directions for development. I can completely split multiple offspring and upgrade them slightly, allowing them to parasitize the cadres of the Don Quixote family and let them go out to obtain evolution points. Anyway, there are so many enemies of the Don Quixote family, you can kill them as you please. In this way, not only can we more efficiently obtain evolutionary points, but we can also help these useless guys find a sense of existence. Perfect. A beautiful plan gradually became clear in Nal's mind. This is all thanks to the ability to create offspring. Let Nal solve the current situation perfectly. Alas, the only regret is that both splitting and upgrading offspring require evolutionary points. Nar sighed with regret. He decided to first obtain some evolutionary points and create the offspring to see how the effect would be. After evolving into a growing body, parasitic, phagocytic, and gene replication abilities can all be upgraded. Each ability requires 1000 evolution points. Parasitic upgrade will make the amplification factor stronger. Devouring is the most important core means to obtain evolutionary points. Gene replication is a means of obtaining the ability of demon fruit. In addition, the creation and upgrading of offspring also require evolutionary points. Nar felt an invisible pressure. But fortunately, he discovered a new target. The Sea King species. The evolution point provided by a Sea King is much higher than that group of trash in the propulsion city. But at this moment, Nal finally noticed something was wrong. Growth body complete body. Surprisingly, it requires 100,000 evolution points. Damn it. And so on, shouldn't it be 10,000 evolution points? Nal's heart skipped and cursed at his mother. Next stage. Complete body, can truly form independent existence. As soon as he thought he was no longer dependent on anyone, Nal endured. After all, it is necessary to complete great evolution and transformation. 100,000 evolution points means 100,000 evolution points. Nal gritted his teeth and showed his heart. At least a few thousand Sea Kings can provide 100,000 evolutionary points. He decided even more to cultivate a large army of offspring to help him hunt for evolution points. Fighting alone, will we accumulate until the monkey year and horse month. The first goal is to start from the Sea King class. Dover, prepare to continue hunting the Sea Kings. I have found a way to strengthen the cadres. Nar's voice rang out without warning in Duo Flamenco's mind. Duo Flamingo was slightly stunned and said in surprise. Do you mean they can also become stronger like me? What he said is naturally Torpole and others. The current state of the cadres is beyond the control of Duo Flamengo himself. They have nothing now. The situation is extremely difficult and dangerous. But if they can break through their limits like themselves, Da Flamenco would be extremely happy. That's right. But before that, a lot of energy is needed to achieve it. Nal said confidently. Okay. Let's go. Domingo was eager to prepare for action. After explaining a few words to the cadres, they turned around and rushed into the sea. A hunt for Sea Kings. Official start. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Navy Fury. Find the culprit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not long after. Naval reinforcements have arrived at the advancing city. Seeing that hellish and terrifying scene filled the Navy soldiers with endless fear. The advancing city has been destroyed. No one survived. The reinforcements were naturally unable to handle such a significant matter, so they quickly reported it to the Navy headquarters and informed Marshal Red Dog. After learning this news, Red Dog was completely dumbfounded. What a joke. The advancing city has been destroyed. He quickly dispatched the great General Huang Yuan and rushed to the advancing city to inspect the situation as soon as possible. 1 day later. Naval Headquarters. 2 years ago, Marinfando was destroyed. The Naval Headquarters has now been moved to the original G1 branch of the New World Navy and renamed as New Marinfando. Marshal's Office. Gathering the absolute head of the Navy. Marshal Sakaski of the Navy. Generals such as Yellow Ape, Vine Tiger, and Green Bull. Chief Crane. Demu Fu. Warring States period. Even Cap, who had retired to the second tier, was present. And a group of main generals. One by one, their faces were solemn. Full of sadness, but also suppressing strong anger. Every dead person has turned into a mess of flesh and bones, whether it's a prison guard or a prisoner. The old man has found traces of Magellan's death. From the battle traces, it seems like the ability of the fruit of the thread. From the traces, it can be inferred that there is an 80% chance that Doflamingo has escaped from prison. The Yellow Ape said with a heavy expression. He has always had a playful and serious fishing posture, which is rare. The fruit of the thread. Do you think it's impossible for Domingo? That guy doesn't have such strength. Is it someone who launched an action to save Domingo? Warring States frowned tightly, with a gleam on the lens. He had countless speculations in his mind. But he hasn't figured out one thing yet. How was the advancing city breached? The Warring States period never imagined it. The advancing city was attacked from within. It's even more unexpected that the mastermind behind it was Doflamenco himself. Is it Kato who took action against advancing city because Jack failed to hijack the ship? Staff Crane spoke slowly. The news we have is that both the Straw Hat Boy and the Ant Pirates have appeared in the Land of Harmony, and Kato probably doesn't have time to pay attention to them. Moreover, there are only a few people who can make advancing city helpless. Can do this kind of thing. Unless it's a real monster. The only suspects in the Navy are Kato and Blackbeard. If it weren't for Kato. Could it be Blackbeard? That guy has been leading a pirate group lately, but it's very rampant. He's hunting for demon fruit-capable people everywhere, and he wants to recruit Duo Flamenco. Green Bull suddenly began to speculate. If it was Blackbeard for the sake of the fruit of the thread, it would make sense to make a big fuss and push the city forward. Anyway, Blackbeard has a criminal record. It's not the Blackbeard pirate group. The undercover eyeliner report that the Blackbeard pirate group has gathered all the cadres and members for some reason to prepare for a big action. When the city was attacked, the action time of the Blackbeard pirate group did not match. Staff Crane has access to important intelligence, and at this point, the suspicion of Blackbeard has been ruled out. Who could that be? Red hair. 7 Marshal C's. It's impossible. It can't be a revolutionary army, can it? The green ox covered its head, feeling restless and restless. The revolutionary army is even more unlikely. They wish they could kill Duo Flamenco. No matter who it is. This is simply a cruel and bloodthirsty demon. I will never let go of such a scumbag who causes trouble in the world. Tenghu clenched his sword in his hand, his expression gloomy, and his voice filled with anger and killing intent. Too many people have died in the advancing city. The despicable behavior has made Tenghu, who adheres to love and justice, particularly angry. But his anger turned into anger. But couldn't find a target to vent. How reckless. When the culprit is found, I will personally use my iron fist to send him to hell. Kapu's finger joints made a clicking sound, with a murderous expression on his face. Even 2 years ago, the largest prison break in the history of the advancing city. The final result is not so tragic. This is a complete massacre. The inhumane behavior is infuriating. Sakaski, what do you think? And what are you going to say about the world government? Looking up at the fierce man sitting in the position of marshal during the Warring States period. The red dog bit its cigar and said fiercely, whoever it is, we must find him. Didn't we just say that Duo Flamingo might have escaped from prison? Let's start searching from him. His words are just an excuse for his actions. It is also a response prepared for the world government. He doesn't think that Domingo himself has the ability to escape from prison. But the navy behind Doflamenco really doesn't know. Red dogs cannot be said to have no idea who the enemy is. If a navy warship loses one, it means that when the other party leaves, they will be searching for any abnormal traces starting from the center of the propulsion city and along the windless zone. In any case, no matter how much it costs, the enemy must be found. The red dog charged down and announced its death order. Find it. Must find. Do whatever it takes to find it. But they can only find the trace of Duo Flamenco. Because I don't even know who saved Domingo. I wouldn't even think of it. The main culprit is the self-deprecating Doflamenco they look down upon. The navy is like going crazy searching for the trace of Duo Flamenco. But Domingo and NAR are still hunting for Sea Kings. 2 more days passed in the blink of an eye. Windless zone. A Navy warship is slowly sailing on the sea surface. On the ship were the cadres of the Don Quixote family. Puff. Suddenly, a figure broke through the sea, jumped out of the water, and landed on the ship. The pitch-black mucus on his body receded, revealing the face of Domingo. Xiao Zhu. Dover, are you okay? Xiao Zhu. The cadres all gathered around at once. I'm fine, I need to discuss things with Venom. I'll talk about other things later, said Doflamingo, waving his hand and laughing. After speaking, he walked into the cabin. He just went to the deep sea with Venom to hunt and kill a giant sea king that is nearly 3,000 kilometers long. Through continuous accumulation of evolutionary points. NAL finally has extra evolutionary points to create offspring. The sub-body army plan is ready to be executed. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.